Saepe omnes. Let's review the new words we learned. How did we say there are many books in the library? Multī librī in bibliothēcā sunt. Now try, there is a library in the city. Bibliothēcā in urbē est. And can you remember how to say the school is next to the library? Scola juxta bibliothēcam est. In each of these sentences, bibliothēcā has a different ending. Don't worry if you didn't get all of them right. It takes a long time to acquire these aspects of grammar. It's more important that you understand what these mean when you read them. So here in the first sentence, bibliothēcā is in the ablative form because it indicates a location. In the second, it is the subject, and urbs is in the ablative. And in the third sentence, it is in the accusative, simply because the preposition juxta requires it. Let's try something a little easier now. Minerva is the Roman name for Athena, so try to say Minerva was a goddess. Minerva dea erat. And look at the next sentence now. Erat dea artium. She was goddess of the arts. Notice that we have the ending ium here. This is the plural genitive form of third declension nouns. But don't simply try to memorize the ending. Learn the chunk dea artium and associate it with goddess of the arts. Because remember, we don't learn language through grammar, we learn grammar through language. When we learn enough chunks like this, the grammar comes naturally. Another similar chunk comes in the last two words of the next sentence. Erat perīta in artibus. Perīta means skilled. If you do something perfectly, you must be really skilled. Also, Pericles was a very skilled ruler of Athens. And the chunk in artibus contains ibus, the ablative plural ending for third declension nouns. You might see in artibus in the following phrase on a degree for universities that like to be fancy. Baccalaureus in artibus. This means bachelor in the arts, or a bachelor's degree in liberal arts. Bacca is Latin for berry, and laurea means laurels. So this referred to the fact that graduates would wear laurel crowns filled with berries that represented the fruits of their study. And have you heard the Spanish phrase, mi casa es tu casa? This is equivalent to saying, make yourself at home, but the literal meaning is, my house is your house. Latin also uses the word casa for house, but it sometimes refers to a hut or cabin in classical Latin. We also learned another word for house. Can you remember what it was? Domus. And this is a weird noun because it is actually feminine, even though it looks like it's masculine. However, casa is a regular first declension noun, so this sentence means the first word is a name. Arachnē in casa minuta habitabat. Arachnē lived in a teeny cottage. Minuta, like minute. Remember, here the imperfect tense is used because the action is incomplete. And can you guess what the following means? Arachnē picturas pulchras formavit. Arachnē formed beautiful pictures. And in the next sentence, we will have the following word, Saepe. If you drink something in sips, you have to saepe it often, right? The following sentence is long, but is review. The subject of the second half is Arachnē. Dum nymphae spectabant, saepe picturas in textili formavit. While the nymphs were watching, she often fashioned pictures in textile. Let's practice the new words we learned. Say, he or she often walks in the city. Saepe in urbē ambulat. Remember, even if you said in urbs, don't worry so much. The grammar will come in time. The most important part is expanding your vocabulary. And how would we say, I often drink in a teeny cottage? Saepe in casa minuta bibo. Can you guess the meaning of the next sentence? Quis est magistra tibī? Who is your teacher? But notice, tibī is the dative form of to, so it's like saying teacher to you. And who is quis in Latin. And what is very similar. What is it? Quid. So using the previous sentence as an example, say now, what is your name? Quid est nomen tibī? Another common phrase that uses this word is the following. Grātiās tibi ago. I give thanks to you. The word ago means act, do, and a million other things. We'll see it more later. You can also just say grātiās, although this is obviously less formal. Look at the next sentence now. Tibi librum dedit. Dedit is the perfect past tense of dat, which is a highly irregular verb. So this sentence means, he gave the book to you. We will see this word at the very end of the story. Okay, we're ready now for the first part of the story of Arachnē. However, there will be one word that I'm sure you can guess. Minerva dea erat. Erat dea artium. Arachnē erat puella quoque perīta in artibus. Arachnē in casa minuta habitabat et picturas pulchras formavit. Dum nymphae spectabant, Saepe picturas in textili formavit. Nymphae picturas vidit et puellam laudavit. Quis est magistra tibī? Certe Minerva tibi artem dedit. Did you understand the last sentence? Certe sounds a lot like certainly or certainly, right? So this sentence means, certainly Minerva gave you your art. Notice, words like your and my are often left unstated in Latin if they're obvious from context. Okay, we'll continue this story in the next lesson. See you then. On Patreon, each story is consolidated in a single downloadable audio file, together with a full transcript and English translation. The example sentences used in each lesson are also included. There's a link below. Grātiās!